It's January 26, 2024. We're having a look at the week in perspective, and this includes a lot of events in the agricultural sector in South Africa. Welcome to this channel with Urban Buck, and by the way, it's Friday. The small town of Groblersdal in northeast of the Johannesburg, Pretoria metro areas was abuzz this week with a lot of activity. It was the bail hearing for Piet Groenewald and his son Stefan Greef. Piet is also the head of the Wildlife Investigation and Protection Services, WIPS, and with their work, there's a decline in farm attacks in that specific area. I'm talking about the area that is Middelburg, Rosenekal, where there was a similar incident, I think it was in November, where an intruder or a trespasser on a farm was also chased off, and he turned around and he made a case against the young man that was actually chasing him off the property, claiming all sorts of injuries that it was forwarded him by the young man, which was a total lie in that thing. What happened in Piet Groenewald and Stefan Greef's case, they also encountered an intruder, and Stefan had one of their trained security dogs with him, and this dog broke off his leash, unbelievably, yes, but he broke off his leash and he attacked the intruder, because this intruder was actually taunting this dog, and this intruder was quick to make a video of this, and this went viral on social media, and on 24 January, Piet Groenewald and Stefan Greef was due to be in the Groblersdal Magistrates Court for their bail hearing, and that's where things started turning interesting. As it is with our community, a lot of people pitched up to come and support Piet and Stefan in this bail hearing. Some 150 people were there, and even some people from as far as the Free State province. And Mr. Dries Olivier, he was the former mayor of Groblersdal. He arranged with the Commissioner for Rural Safety in the Limpopo province, the General Skeepers, for the movement of the supporters through the town. Now, it wasn't just the Boer supporters that was there. The EFF were due to be there as well, and probably another one or two political parties. I know the Freedom Front Plus was there earlier that morning, and so it's not something new that people would come to support any of the parties. So General Skeepers gave permission beforehand for the march through of this group through the town and past the magistrates court, but then the next morning on the 24th, when they started lining up for this march, it suddenly dawned that this General Skeepers withdrew the consent for this march. The group managed to get to the magistrates court, and there was a heated argument between Mr. Olivier, Francois van der Merwe of the Bittereinders, and some of the local farmers and the police. And in this process, the police started pushing and shoving Mr. Olivier. As I said, he's almost 80, and he recently had a hip replacement as well. They started pushing and shoving him around, and this young man, Francois van der Merwe, he intervened with the idea of protecting Mr. Olivier, and then suddenly he was mauled into the ground by a group of police officers, something like, you can go and count them on the videos. Now, he sustained quite a few injuries in this process. I mean, it was this whole bunch of them against this one man. Now, Francois is not a big guy, but he's a very eager guy. Now, and it was he had it in good intention to protect Mr. Olivier, but the police then saw it as an opportunity to grab him. Now, I say that Francois was marked for this thing. They knew he was going to come. They knew who he was, and they knew the fire that man possesses. And like I say, while he was mauled into the ground, there was at some point he was pushed into the tar of the street going past the magistrate's office. And then somebody also that took a video also witnessed that there was an officer from another police arm, the Metro Police. He repeatedly stomped Francois on the head with his boot, and Francois actually sustained injuries of that. It was later determined, after it was noted that Francois was very disorientated, that he may have suffered a concussion, and he was taken to a hospital, which is another story, because the conditions in that hospital was absolutely filthy, with the ruling party never coming to party or coming to the table with all the promises they make and the health issues that's going to be addressed in this country. At this hospital, Francois was given some medication and was sent back to the police office in Groblersdal. He's still being detained, and in this whole process, he was never formally arrested. And so he's being detained without there being a case against which he is detained. And he's being detained pending investigation. Now, what that means can be anybody's guess, and his bail hearing is set for the 1st of February 2024. It seems that whenever our Boer nation are trying to protect or to be present when one of ours is involved in any legal matter, that we are being coaxed to lose control. And that's exactly that's being tried, or that was tried by the police officers in Groblersdal. But somehow we managed to retain our cool and step away without any serious incident, except for what happened to Mr. Olivier and Francois. There's a lot of frustration amongst the Boers, and the state simply sides with the party that trespassed in the first place. And these things have happened previously. Like I said, there was a case in Senegal. There was a case last year in the Free State province where two ladies that was farming sheep, they realized somebody was trying to steal their sheep in the middle of the night, and they intervened, and then this whole case was turned around against them, and several charges were laid against them. And then one morning, when they were still having their morning coffee, there was 30 police officers standing on their lawn, coming to detain them. So that's how these things work in South Africa, and it creates a lot of frustration. You mentioned these things on social media in South Africa, and the questions such as, "This has got to stop. Why can't we do anything? Why is government not doing anything?" And people are rinsing their mouths about this on social media, but nothing ever gets done. People from overseas have asked me, "Why are you not doing anything?" This question was threatened many times, that these guys are really trying to or testing the patience of the Boer nation, and but still nothing is being done. My personal opinion is that if anything should happen now, if we should get into a skirmish with these forces, that it will only result in an unnecessary bloodbath. The time for a skirmish is in the future. I believe so. I believe that a lot is going to change in this country, and there's a lot of things that will still happen in this country. But in the meanwhile, there's still talk about, and I was made privy to a conversation that was being had by two people on WhatsApp, and this person said to the admin of this WhatsApp group that you can't just apologies, you can't just every day just put little Bible verses on this group and not allow us. But the answer that came from the admin was that we're limiting it to that because in the end, the different beliefs and ideologies, if I can put it as such, is going to come into the conversation, and then the purpose of this WhatsApp group is going to be lost in. This admin also said, Chris Harmse is the admin of this WhatsApp group. He also said that there's nothing wrong with prayer. Yes, we need to act, and we are going to act accordingly, but the time is just not appropriate at the moment. Like I say, my opinion is that if there's a skirmish now between us and the opposing forces, it's going to be an unnecessary bloodbath, because there's simply not enough protection or preparation amongst the Boer nation. There's a lot of factors that needs to be overcome before we can be involved in a skirmish. One of them is the unity amongst South Africans, and there's a huge gap there, because not everybody feels the same. There's a lot of people that does feel the same, but we are not enough to carry on a full-scale civil war in South Africa. For that, there's a lot of support that is needed by the Boer nation, and I will get to that at some point. But what I want to emphasize at this stage is that there's a couple of points that I made here, and I'm going to use my glasses because I also need to see what I write on this paper. Prayer is an essential thing in our daily life, and that's what is distinguishing the Boer from other nations, that we are a very religious nation. We live by the Bible, we live by the Spirit of God, we live by the guidance of God, by His Holy Spirit. And while there's a lot of people that wants to taste blood, it's simply not the time. And like the one person said, you can't just pray every day and everything will fall into place. No, everything is not going to fall into place with prayer. But, and I want to uphold the example of Bloedrivier during the Voortrekker history. Now, the Battle of Bloedrivier wasn't an offensive; it was a defensive. And this is where we need to draw a clear line and say that while a lot of people want blood, while a lot of people wants to get in with arms and ammunition and go and make a difference and try and stop this, this whole thing is about defending, because we need to have a defensive stance against these forces that's opposing us. At this stage, the moment we get up, the moment we move out, there's a lot of people that's against us, and there's a lot of people stopping us, and then things are being turned against us in these matters, such as what happened in Groblersdal. When I started doing videos on farm murders and farm attacks, the very first video, which is in Afrikaans, and I think maybe it's time that I also translate that in English so that I can send it out, so it gives you out abroad, overseas, in the States and Europe and the East Bloc countries, Russia, and those, Poland, to give you a better perspective about the drivers of farm murders and farm attacks. I said there, and the very first slide on that presentation from which I worked was, our battle is not against flesh and blood, but against powers and principalities of the darkness of this age. Now, and that brings me back to the prayer issue. What happened in the Bloedrivier case was that the people made a pact with God previously or beforehand, and that caused the skirmish to swing into their favor. But it was also with a lot of prayer and a lot of awareness that God and His powers can be used for our benefit if we are within His bounds. Prayer and spiritual preparation is a huge must. In any war, you can go and have a look through the Old Testament. You can have a look in the New Testament. Jesus, He went to prepare, He went to pray every night, because He knew what was against Him, and He knew He had to prepare for those things. The battle cannot be entered if you are not, especially this battle, cannot be entered into if you do not have the Spirit of God and the strength of God protecting you. Remember, at this stage, we are sitting with a situation that we need to defend ourselves, and we need to not just go out and start a war for which we, in my opinion, we are not ready. Because, like I say, it's going to be, it's not going to be, it's not going to be the right outcome. Or it's not going to be the outcome that we need as a Boer nation. In the meanwhile, according to law, what the law states is that, and even the police welcomes each and every, well, not each and every, they welcome ways and means to protect your property. So it's legal for you to protect your property. It's legal to defend yourself. I mean, nobody in his right mind is going to stand there and just let anybody just roll all over him, hurt him, injure him, or even kill him. And to defend yourself warrants preparation. It warrants a lot of preparation. It warrants preparing your home against an invasion, preparing your property sufficiently with security systems, and having measures that is going to help you to get the upper hand in the event that you're getting attacked. Like I say, preparation is part of defense. You need to have any means at your disposal to protect yourself, and that is what we're doing. We do regular, I know about farms that is doing regular patrols. There's communities, small communities on those farms that has got duties that is included in the contract to help protect the farm against invasion. And I also saw a video the other day, a couple of months ago, about a young pastor. He was talking about preparation. And so preparation is not something that is just physical. Preparation is also in the spiritual awareness area. There's also space for preparation. And he said, prep according to your budget. Even if you spend $20 on your preparation, it's your preparation for the month. You can spend more, like I say, spend according to your budget, and then prep honestly. Don't go and steal something just because you're going to need it in a week or two, or maybe never. So your preparation should also be honesty. This is enough. This is all from me on this Friday afternoon. I'm not trying to start a Friday afternoon movement here. I'm battling to get enough material for the Wednesday fastballs already. I just thought that it was probably a good idea to put this whole thing in perspective, and to tell you what has been going on in our week. The situation in South Africa with regards to farmer tax, there's been a few farmer tax, and I'll get to that week after next week on the monthly video. And I must say, fortunately, and we've been very blessed, nobody has lost their lives during farmer tax in this month yet. But I also know that there's another bail hearing in the town of Schweizer-Reinicke on the 29th of January. That is for the murder of Koen van der Walt, on Christmas Eve, when he was shot twice by an intruder at his home. An intruder which was caught within a couple of days because he was driving around with Koen's car, and he was also identified by Koen's lady friend that was not hurt in any way. So if you are in the Northwest Province and you do have the opportunity to, and you do see this video, please see if you can go to Swaziland and support the people there. I've opted to go and support if I get an opportunity to get there, because I still need to leave the domestic side and yeah, with the ability to get to school and to do their arrangements, so I cannot just up and leave. But if I can catch a ride with anybody, please let me know. Send me an email. I would appreciate that, and then I will make sure that I will be at Swaziland as well. Thank you for your tuning in. Please leave a comment if you want to. I also always appreciate the comment. I also never fail to answer to any of the comments. So it will get the deserved attention. If you do have a question, please pose it. I would like to know what your mind is around this. And then also, if you have not subscribed to this channel yet, you're welcome to do so. Stay tuned by subscribing. Enjoy your weekend.